Hi, this is a demonstration video on how to use the Sacred Enneagram Maps. We're using the bronze level map, but it applies to all three Sacred Enneagram Maps. So to start with, you can choose to go into full screen by clicking down the bottom right corner where it will light up and say full screen right down here. So click on that. And there we have the Sacred Enneagram map in full screen. Click on the arrow buttons. The arrow buttons take you to the next educational frame of learning, like this. You can go left and right. No, left takes you back to the beginning. Right takes you forward through the whole Sacred Enneagram map. So let's click forward using the right arrow button, just as we did before, and going forward a little bit more. With these Sacred Enneagram maps, you can also go back to the beginning, home screen, by going to the home button, which is on the right-hand side of the screen, and clicking there. So let's try that now. Click on the home button. And there you are, zoomed back out into all the attributes of the Sacred Enneagram map. Okay, another attribute to the Sacred Enneagram map is being able to zoom in and out on attributes that you wish to look at. Say I want to zoom in on Enneagram Style 1's Tree of Life diagram. All you have to do is just bring your mouse over and click on the image, the Tree of Life image, like this. Click, and it will zoom right in. You can click again to get a closer view of the top. And then you can zoom out also by using the scroll button on your mouse. So using the scroll button, you can slowly move out, which is called zooming out, like that. Oh, it went a bit too far that time. Or you can zoom in by rolling it up and zooming in. Let's try zooming in with the scroll button onto Enneagram Style 7's Tree of Life. So zooming up, scrolling up and zooming in. And you can also click and drag the different attributes around. So just by placing the mouse anywhere on the screen, you can drag it over that way, or can drag it over that way, or up and down any which way you like. So I'm just going to click on Enneagram Style 7's Tree of Life diagram right there. And then I'll go back over to the right hand side, click the home screen, back to full view. With the Sacred Enneagram course, it's beneficial just to go along by clicking the arrow keys on the bottom, or you can use spacebar. So I'll take it back to the beginning, like that, and clicking the right arrow key takes you through step by step through all the attributes in the right order to complete the course. Just clicking through, I'll click a bit faster, going through some of the attributes here, or you can go back by clicking the left arrow. You can also use on your keyboard the spacebar to go forward, or the arrow keys on your keyboard to go forward and back by using the left and right arrow keys. Right arrow goes forward, left arrow goes back. Back in time, forward in time is the right arrow key. So right now I'm going to go back to home screen. If you go down to where the arrow keys are at the bottom here and go over to the blue slider, you will see it comes up with the different frame numbers. So in this Enneagram map, we've got 445 frames in total. And right now it's on frame 12. But I can take it back to frame 1, like that. So using the slider, you can select which frame you want to use, which comes in handy when using the Enneagram study manuals along with the map. And I will show you that in a minute, why it would come in handy to choose the individual frames when using and studying the Enneagram manuals. So going back to 1, that's frame 1. I'll just pick a random frame here. Frame number 132. So just clicking and dragging the slider up to 132, letting go, and the map will automatically zoom in into that frame. Another feature of the Sacred Enneagram Maps are, I'll zoom back into home screen, bringing it back to the full Enneagram map display. But another feature, which is right down here, this little cog feature in the bottom right hand corner. By clicking on this cog, you get to choose Autoplay. So Autoplay will just take your Enneagram map through each frame automatically, and you can set how fast you like to go. So you can autoplay frames every 20 seconds, so that's rather slow. Or you could go 10 seconds for each frame, or 4 seconds for each frame. What this means is that you don't even have to click anything, it will just play through the frames sequentially. So let's just do a demonstration. I will click the 4-second frame rate just for a demonstration. So I've started on 132 frame here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and it will just click through, and I'm not touching anything, it does it automatically. Every 4 seconds the frame will change. And you can turn that off by just going back over to the cog, clicking on that cog symbol and turning off. Autoplay stopped. And I will zoom back in onto the full Enneagram map display. Take it all the way back to frame 1, which is the beginning. So I'll just bring up the Sacred Enneagram Bronze Level Manual, which corresponds with the Sacred Enneagram Bronze Level Map. Here we go. This is the Bronze Level Manual, digital version. I'll flick through to show you how to use this manual along with the Sacred Enneagram Map. So you will see on page 6 in the Sacred Enneagram Bronze Manual, up in the top right hand corner, you will see map frames. So what this means is, in the manual, it tells you which frames to zoom in on to see this information on the map. So this is mapped frames 2 to 6. So going back to the Enneagram map, going to the slider and going to frame 2, which is just that one there, and clicking through. So this is what's in the manual. Clicking through to frame 6. like that. So we'll do another demonstration of selecting the frames in the manual. So we'll just pick a random page in the manual. Let's flick through a few pages here. Since there's 153 pages, we'll click through. Let's go to page 54, random page 54. So page 54 in the bronze level manual, you will see up in the top left corner, map frames 171 to 173, which shows the Enneagram Style 5 self-triangulation information here. So let's see if that corresponds directly with the Sacred Enneagram Map. So going back to the map here. So right now I am selecting with the slider bar on the Sacred Enneagram Map, bronze level, frame 171. So clicking that, and we should go straight to Enneagram Style 5's self-triangulation spiral here. And that goes to 173, which is right here. And just seeing if that corresponds to the manual. It says here, 5's habit of mind to cope, continued. So this is the information about 5's habit of mind to cope. So let's go back to the manual here. And yes, it's at 5 habits of mind to cope. So that sums up how to utilize the Sacred Enneagram Maps along with the Sacred Enneagram manuals. Going back to the map here, zooming back to home screen, brings everything back together, and the slider is still on 173, so we take it all the way back to the beginning to bring it back to the start, just like that. So just a quick summary of what we've learnt today in the Sacred Enneagram Map demonstration is that the home button is here on the right hand side. Full screen is down at the bottom right hand corner. To click and go through each frame sequentially along with the manual, we click on the arrows or press spacebar. We can zoom in by scrolling in with the mouse scroll button, scrolling up or scrolling out to zoom out like that. I'll just click back to home screen. We can click on any attributes we like to have a look at. And this comes in handy when you're working with your clients to show them a display of what you will be working on together. And you could say if your client is Sacred Enneagram 9, so you can say, I will show you Enneagram Style 9, and click on the Tree of Life diagram here, and it will zoom straight in, and you can talk to your client about the different attributes within the map. And this is what we'll be learning throughout the course as well. So you will learn about all the different attributes of the Sacred Enneagram types throughout the Sacred Enneagram course. So all this information that you see on these Tree of Life maps, these individual Tree of Life maps for each Enneagram style, will become very familiar to you throughout the course because this is what we are studying. But just to give you an example, you've zoomed into Enneagram Style 9, and you can say, I'd like to show you the qualities of your divine essence. So then you would click on the divine essence spiral, and it will zoom right in down onto 9's divine essence, which is pure unity awareness. And then you can zoom out again by also clicking the zoom out buttons on the side like this. On the right hand side underneath the home button you have zoom buttons as well, which can zoom out like that, or you could use your scroll button on your mouse. Either way it works. So zooming back to home screen, which puts all the information into one screen. So that sums up the Sacred Enneagram Maps demonstration.